Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching NDTV. In the midst of concerns around medical entrance examination need for admission into over 700 medical colleges across the country, the Supreme Court today came down heavily on the National Testing Agency, which conducts this nationwide examination. Now, the Supreme Court, while hearing a batch of petitions over the alleged problems with the examination, said that it expected a timely action from the NTA. It also asked the agency to ensure that all students, all candidates are treated fairly. Several questions are being raised around NEET, with the matter also taking a political turn. Congress MP Rahul Gandhi has questioned the Prime Minister's silence over the matter, and his party has demanded a judicial probe, while the Aam Aadmi Party today held a protest and asked for a retest. The DMK has consistently asked for the scrapping of the NEET exam. Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has acknowledged that the problems with NTA will be addressed. He also said that the guilty won't be spared. Now, what is the future of NEET and NTA? Remember, it's the NTA that holds NEET. It's a body that was formed in 2017. Before that, it was the CBSE that used to hold medical entrance test. Even as politics deepens over this matter, how can NEET become better? That's what we will try and discuss tonight. But first, here are some reactions.
लाख बच्चों के भविष्य का सवाल है। तो आज हम लोग इसलिए बैठे हैं कि केंद्र सरकार इसके ऊपर सुप्रीम कोर्ट मॉनिटर्ड जांच कराए। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ही सब कुछ क्यों करेगा देश के अंदर? सरकार क्यों है? सरकार इसके ऊपर फैसला ले और इसके ऊपर ठोस कदम उठाए जाए। अश्विनी वैष्णव हैं, वे प्रचार मंत्री हैं। यूट्यूब पे वीडियो बनवाओ उनसे, दुनिया भर की पीआर करवाओ उनसे, वे कर सकते हैं। मुझे लगता है कि अश्विनी वैष्णव जो हैं, इनको इस मंत्रालय से हटाना चाहिए।
भाजपा और कांग्रेस और महागठबंधन का मामला नहीं है। एक बात सही है कि नीट के परीक्षा में पेपर लॉक हुआ है, उसके अलावा बिहार में भी कई जगह हुआ है, लेकिन उस पर सरकार बहुत सख्त हुई है और कार्रवाई कर रही है। आप देखते हैं कि जो उसमें लगे हुए हैं उसमें भी एजेंसी जांच कर रही है, उनके गार्जियन से भी बात कर रही है। तो कहने का मतलब है कि उसको इरिडिकेट करने के लिए, ख़त्म करने के लिए सरकार कटिबद्ध हो गई है और हम समझते हैं कि आगे अब इस प्रकार की बातें नहीं होंगी।
The Union Education Minister has no moral right to continue as an education minister. Last 5 years he was continuing as a Minister of Education. Entire examinations credibility had been questioned. The NEET examination is the latest thing. This NEET examination is the latest things. He himself is admitting some gadbadi ho gaya. How can a minister say that? Then he is telling, I will punish the officers. Thousands of students are in a worrisome position. Their parents are crying. This government is least sensitivity. This government have a least sensitivity about the future of the students of this country. Look, we are going to raise it in the parliament. We will make it as a big issue. We need a clear-cut answer from the government.
We have political analyst Gargi Nandi who supports the BJP joining us. Ms. Nandi, thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. Ma'am, there are many questions that are being asked on NEET. Why did some centres get torn OMR sheets? Why did police in Gujarat and Bihar allude to paper leaks? And what made 67 students get top marks is, of course, a retest that has been ordered to those who got grace marks. But clearly, how can there be a common merit list for two sets of examination, negative marking in NEET? Several questions being raised, and of course around the grace marks. Do you think the government or the NTA needs to do more in terms of confidence building, because there is a sense of disbelief and there's a sense of lack of credibility that's rising with respect to NEET and also NTA?
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. You have in the beginning introduced me, yes, leaning towards BJP. Let me tell you, ma'am, that whatever party I may lean to, for me, my country stands first, so Bharat first. And this is a very sensitive issue where the future of our children is depending. So here is the future of the country. So everybody is concerned. We all are shaken by this, aren't we? And so, see, there are three things which we are seeing since June 4th. One is obviously the paper leak case. The case will be heard on 8 July in Supreme Court, and the grace marks issue. Now, the grace marks has been given to 1563 students, the 6 centers where they're saying because the paper reached late. So I feel maybe at this stage, the option of retest can be given to more students, because those students who went to the court, they are only given this provision, so it can be extended to other students. And coming to the paper leak, it is horrible if it happened. I think the government or the education minister has already said that harshest punishment will be given. And what I know from sources that yes, significant reforms are anticipated, and in both in operations and exam administration or the logistics, they're expected that changes are expected in NTA. Mostly there will be a committee of high level committee of experts will recommend. So it is surely needed, because no culprit should be spared. We all stand with that. No culprit should be spared. Where it is the future of a country, obviously. And let me tell you, people who are blaming the government today.
Right.
Ma'am, I grew up in Kolkata. My generation, when I give my class 10th board exam in Kolkata, it is called Madhyamik. You know, just 3 days before our exam, 3-4 days, my father comes back and he said the exam has been postponed because there were paper leaks. So the exam that had to happen in March happened in May.
Okay.
So when I gave my board exam, I suffered paper leak and our exam was postponed for 2 months.
Okay.
So it is not that it is happening today. So there are groups, there are gangs who for money, for easy bucks, they have been doing this kind of criminal activities, but they should be brought to books. And
Absolutely.
I really believe
that's a very important point. Gargi, I'll just come to you in a bit. We also have A. Saravanan, a DMK spokesperson, and also Araz Mullah from the Congress party joining us. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining me on this show. Mr. Saravanan, I know the DMK has been consistently asking for the scrapping of the NEET examination, as the party, and rightly so, believes that it puts students without resources to go for coaching centers at a disadvantage. But would it be fair to ask students to take medical tests of every state, 29 examinations, if NEET were to be decentralized? Because that would also mean more burden on households in terms of planning, transport, and more importantly, sir, NEET also requires states to open up with their quota of seats to make it very transparent, because you'll have to tell as to how many seats are going in the central pool. In that way, it is also in some ways more transparent and better for students, because in Tamil Nadu and several southern states and also in north of India, we've seen politicians, having complete monopoly over several medical and engineering institutions. So tell me, how would you still defend your move to scrap NEET?
See, NEET is a social evil. You are talking about uniformity. You are saying there is no uniformity, therefore we should have NEET. But what kind of the anomalies the NEET has brought in? For one instance, you are talking about coaching class. Is there any student who have cleared NEET without going to a coaching class? And how many students are there who are repeating it? Almost we have the data which says almost 50% to 60% of the students repeat NEET. They get cleared only after the second time. So it puts the students who are just enrolling, who are just finishing and joining at a very big disadvantage. And let us assume that people have money to join the coaching classes. Does the coaching classes are there in every village across the country? They are only mushrooming at cities. So it again puts the students who are there in the cities at a much better position than the students who are there in the village. And this is not the first time that the NEET examinations, there are malpractices which have come out of this NEET examination. This has been a consistent pattern at least for the last 4 years.
Right.
We have people here who have done imposturing during the examinations, and the same has been brought to book now because of the ramifications and the anomalies that, see, if you are not able to, there is a national testing agency, it is not able to conduct the examinations. Why are you putting the young children to such kind of a torture, such kind of one situation where they don't know what will be the next move? There is no clarity. The BJP government, which is the only party which is supporting the NEET, is not able to. They were in governance for the last 10 years and 8 years NEET has been in vogue. They are not even able to conduct this examination. One examination they are not able to conduct, and this speaks volumes about their competency, about the way they are able running this government. This is the hallmark which we will hold this government. How they are not able to run the government, they don't have the wherewithal. And Mr. Rahul Gandhi today has clearly pointed out that it is in the BJP ruling states that these paper leaks are happening, and the NTA is silent on this.
Right.
And our leader, Mr. M.K. Stalin, has time and again pointed out the entire country is erupting against NEET. Let's go back. Let's go back to +2 marks.
Okay.
If there are some states want to conduct examination, let them conduct. I am talking about the state of Tamil Nadu. We don't want NEET. We have almost 30 medical colleges, state medical colleges. We want those medical colleges to be free from this evil called NEET. We don't want to subject our students, our state government students, from enrolling into a coaching class, going through this.
Okay, Mr. Sarvan, I'll come back to you. You know, I have one more argument in that, but Aras Mullah, Rahul Gandhi has clearly said that the Prime Minister needs to answer. Your party has asked for a judicial probe into this matter. But when you talk about this whole allegation of exam paper leak, I remember even when Mr. Gehlot was the Chief Minister, there was a paper leak. And I believe as a journalist that no state government or no political party wants paper leaks. Because, you know, be it Congress or the BJP, this would mean, maybe getting the youth against the party's sort of like interests. So how do you blame it completely on the BJP, because these are also state level matters when it comes to paper leaks, and law and order is something that is that is a state subject?
See, coming to this point of NEET leak that has happened, there are clear evidence that in Bihar, in Godhra, there are situations wherein they have even confessed that a paper leak has happened. Even after confessions happening that paper leak has happened, why is the education minister still quiet on this? Why is he not taking action on NTA? What is his interest in supporting the NTA and not coming out openly against them? What we demand is that there has to be a ban on NTA. NTA does not have the right, should not have the right to ever conduct the exam. There was an examination leak that had happened, wherein there was injustice to a student, and later on it comes after a suicide of the student comes to know that he achieved more marks than what was given by the NTA. So NTA time and again has proven to be not being dealing with the exams properly, and we have reasons to believe that the education minister is involved if he is not taking action against this.
Right.
And if
but Aras, tell me something. You also represent the Congress party, which is the largest opposition party. So also tell us, isn't it a more realistic solution to look at improvements in NTA, which the government has also acknowledged? Yeah. And isn't it a better solution to look at existing sort of solutions and not really go for maybe like scrapping NEET or doing away with NTA, which will also lead to problems, because we're talking about almost 24 lakh students here. There are 40 lakh students which take JEE and NEET.
I totally understand, but the students have no trust in the NTA, and if the education minister is not taking any action, the students and the entire country will have no trust on the NTA. And why to have examinations? Students will not even have the trust of going and answering the exams. So to rebuild that trust, it's important to take action against such an agency who has conducted such a fraud. This is a fraud that has happened with the future, with our futures, with the future of the students. And you need to understand that these are medical students, these are future doctors. And if you're playing with them and with the education system in such a way, where are we going? Where is the country going? Right. So this is serious, and we have reasons to believe that the Prime Minister also does not have an education properly. So maybe because of this, he is not taking proper decisions. He has to come out and openly criticize
that's
what
fair
is
enough.
happening.
Saravanan sir, there is also a certain national character that institutions like AIIMS and of course IITs have, and they're also known for having students from across the country. When you talk about decentralizing NEET or even scrapping the examination altogether or having state-specific medical entrance tests, don't you think that students will be at a loss in terms of not getting that kind of exposure which IITs and AIIMS have been able to give to our professionals?
See, we are not bothered about the extremely brilliant students. They will survive anywhere.
Okay.
The state is there to look at the common denominator, the average student, the average medical student. What does he want? See, that's what, when we speak of scrapping NEET, We are talking about the state of Tamil Nadu. Why do we want the NEET examinations to be scrapped? Because we have tailor-made policies. We have ensured, Tamil Nadu is a state which has the most number of medical colleges. We have built them with the state funds. We are administering them. We don't want the central government to tell us how to admit the students to those courses.
Yes, sir.
Because
but Mr. Saravanan, when they're completely state specific, they also, there are problems with high capitation fees. There is no scrutiny. Isn't that a problem, sir?
See, high capitation fee, now the BJP has legalized that corruption. Tell me one medical college, private medical college, where the fees is below 30 lakhs. No. You got an eligibility, it is only leading to corruption. If you have an eligibility at an exam, even if you get 0 marks in one particular paper.
But having a centralized examination would also mean we know how many seats are there in AIIMS, right?
Let me complete this. See, so 35 lakhs to 40 lakhs is what per year fees is for a medical college. You have to pay this in white. So the BJP has legalized this corruption, this loot. Who do you think will be able to pay 45 lakhs for a medical education? 5 years, 2.5 crores. Probably they were getting a capitation fee of 50 lakhs or 60 lakhs. You come down on capitation fee. You said you will be able to do away with black money. Arrest those people who are demanding capitation fee, but you have legalized it. What moral right you have got to speak about donation or capitation or anything when you have legalized the entire system?
Okay. Gargi Nandi, you had a point to make.
You can't hope to study medical, MBBS.
Saravanan sir, yes. Sir, let her finish. I'll come back to you, sir. Yes.
Yeah, Sarvananji, with all respect to you, you spoke about coaching classes. Firstly, NTA is one of the largest exam conducting body globally after China's Kakao. 1.23 crore people, candidates registered last year November and 24 lakh appeared. Yes, there has been problem, and if there has been a scam, there should be a review of administrative measures, review of operations and logistics. Talk about that. When you talk about coaching classes, if you think poor children are not getting that, why not your government provide free, good quality coaching for the students and prepare them for the NEET exams so that they can qualify, instead of saying you're taking students who are not as per the merit, because these will be the future doctors. So certain merit is required. You cannot take anybody and everybody.
No, sir. So merit, of course, is very subjective. See, the Tamil Nadu model is sort of, in some ways very holistic here, because it looks at, coaching centers from the point of view of bias, and also, there are only certain section of students who can actually take coaching classes. So I think the Tamil Nadu model also looks at that.
Yes, Sarvananji, give free coaching and prepare them, make them up to the mark so that they can compete at the NTA and can give the NEET. So prepare them for that. Now we should prepare them. That is the
No, it's also about the syllabus, right? Because, students are also, there are students from rural part of the country. Will they be able to actually accustom themselves to the syllabus of NEET is also, a concern here. Saravanan, yes.
Yeah.
But there has to be certain
that's what this myth that NEET is merit is has to be busted. It is highly scandalous to say that NEET promotes merit. NEET has got nothing to do with merit. You go to a coaching class, mug up there, whatever they do, and vomit it in the examination after spending 1 year. Then you consider yourself meritorious. Tamil Nadu, in the state of Tamil Nadu, we are giving great education to all the students. We have all the top colleges, we have got all the top universities in the state of Tamil Nadu. NEET has got nothing to do with merit. NEET is an instrument of the RSS to ensure that the access to the underprivileged students, to the backward communities, to the SCs and STs are denied.
Like this. What are you talking?
This is a modern form of untouchability. They don't want the SCs, STs and the backward communities to join medical colleges.
Okay, Gargi, a quick word from you before I go to Aras Mullah for the last word.
Yeah, what he's talking here is NEET created by BJP RSS. It was their default, and as I told about, and to the Congress person in the Congress rule Rajasthan, there were so many paper leaks. What did you do? I'm saying paper leak is a severe crime.
Don't justify the paper leak
by saying that it has happened.
Okay, Mr. Mullah, last word from you, sir.
Harshest punishment will be given. So harshest punishment has to be given, and there are reforms are considered.
It has happened here. It has happened. No. It does not justify the paper leak that has happened this time. Don't justify it.
opened my argument saying that.
No, she's not
partial
justifying
punishment
paper
should be
leaks. I
given.
think she's
I'm
saying that, it's a state subject. Thank you so much, all of
Yes.
you, for joining me on this show with all your valuable insights. Also joining us now is a former education secretary who has worked in the social sector and also has been the education secretary of India, R. Subramaniam. Thank you, Mr. Subramaniam, for speaking to NDTV. So many experts, including you, who understand NEET and the nature of competitive examinations, have pointed out that NEET, a medical entrance that is today taken by over 24 lakh students across 4,000 centers, is too critical and large scale to be limited to paper pen test for one day. What are the short-term reforms that you envisage for NEET, at least to get its credibility back?
So we have discussed the conduct of the NEET as far back as in 2017, 2018. And we were very clear that this is one high-stake exam which has to go online. So entire world has gone online, and any of the major tests like GMAT, GRE, they are all conducted online with so much of cyber security. And the entire idea of starting NTA, National Testing Agency, was to bring in that sort of a professional testing service, which is there in other countries, but unfortunately we're still struggling with CBSE and all that. So when we set up this organization, the entire idea was to go to a very, very transparent, but at the same time foolproof online systems. The pen and paper system, which is followed, has got several loopholes and several points where leakage can occur. So we call it as a very, very high risk exam, because you are depending on human element at every point. At the point of setting question paper, there are at least, I have identified 11 points where technically an unscrupulous person can break into the system and leak it, which will destroy the so many hopes of so many people, so many other youngsters who have actually studied hard. So we have argued for it, but somehow I think that did not materialize because the people were not willing to sort of take the plunge. Right, but the fact is that the other sister exam, like JEE, for example, has started, and you can see JEE is not only conducted very successfully, it's conducted twice. It is possible to conduct more times also, so that the student will have a choice, and then we are not determining his capability by just single exam.
But sir, the offline nature of NEET, was it formulated by the court? Why was it not made online to start with? Because JEE has been online.
No, I don't think Supreme Court has said no to online. It was not presented before.
Okay.
It was not presented before the Supreme Court, and the presentation was to be done by the Health Ministry, and they felt that probably Supreme Court will not agree. So it has never gone before the Supreme Court.
Okay. Also, sir, NTA came up in 2017, like we know, to give a professional scientific character to exams such as NEET and JEE. But today it is clouded under allegations. Do you see NEET NTA serving its purpose, and where do you find it lacking?
NTA has done a phenomenal job. I think in a very short time, I think the exams they have conducted, they have done extremely well. There were issues pertaining to like CUT of last time. There were issues. And now we are hearing about this NEET. But otherwise, the way that NTA is organized is extremely professional. It's extremely professional, and it does not lend to any doubt about its credibility. So, as an organization, it has done well, provided, of course, the ministry which is actually seeking its services, they have to actually cooperate and then give it a free hand. So where it has happened, it has done extremely well.
Okay. And so what are the 11 areas that you said you have looked into, and where all do you think things can go wrong in a manual examination such as the NEET?
So in a pen and paper examination, see, there is a person who is setting the question paper, right? So one or two or three, four persons who set the question paper, so they have to be extremely truthful to their task. So we are relying on the human capability. So this is definitely one leakage point. Then afterwards, it is the questions which are set. or somebody else is typing it, right? So the person who is typing it, that's another leakage point. Then it goes for printing. The printer actually prepares for printing. That's a leaking point. Then there is a package that happens after the printing is done. It is packed into in a security press. It's actually packed into different packets for each center. So there can be then there is a transportation. The manually somebody is actually carrying these packets to various centers. Then it is stored at some place. Then it is opened. And the pre-examination, there are so many points where the human interface is there. And even after the exam is conducted, before the OMR sheets are packed, there is a human interface. So my argument is that where there is a human interface, you are actually taking a grave risk. Today, technologies are available which will eliminate that and make the whole job extremely foolproof. So we need to adopt that, like JEE has adopted. So I think there is no reason why NEET should not adopt.
Okay. Also, Mr. Subramaniam, what do you think is the future of NEET and what does the government need to do in the long term? I ask you this because I see students around me, medical aspirants preparing for Olympiad, also state medical entrance examinations. Apart from NEET, is there a better way of assessing a medical aspirant rather than making her just focus on one exam or like a group of examinations?
I think this particular exam, I will not be able to comment because I have not seen how it is done and I don't want to get into the controversy. I'm sure there are better people who are investigating that. What I think immediately in the short run, what we should do is to switch to online mode of testing, and it is possible to do it well. And in the long term, I think it's very necessary to reduce the stakes in one particular examination. So it can be done in several ways. One is, of course, conducting multiple examinations like JEE does. The other thing is that you give weightage to various activities in the school. For example, today there is no weightage for participation in science fairs or participation in social service like NSS, like what happens in other countries. See, suppose if you have to get a medical seat, you have to serve, old age homes or nursing homes. You have to actually prove that you are interested in that particular subject. Here we are very blindly depending on one examination, which is terribly wrong. I think we need to really look at a long-term assessment of the candidate to see his suitability for medical profession.
So, well, NTA and NEET both need a lot of improvements and, of course, so while the opposition is demanding a Supreme Court monitored probe into the whole controversy, what's abundantly clear is the entire system needs a revamp. Thank you, Mr. Subramaniam, for joining us. Of course, what is also important is that not just taking opposition into confidence, but also parents, educationists, and apart from cracking down on the monopoly and control of coaching classes in this sector, and also tightening law and order in states. That's all we have for you in this show. Keep watching NDTV for more news and updates.